Hello, my name is Fiona Stanton from Papercraft. Today I want to show you a really simple card using the Tropical Chic set from Stampin' Up. This is a stamp set and die bundle that's available in the 2018-19 annual catalogue. It will be transitioning over to the 2019-20 catalogue, but it won't be in a bundle form. And you may have seen the retirement list has come out. It came out on Monday last week. However, and this is on the retirement list, but it's on the retirement list and so are many other stamp sets because A, they may be coming out of a bundle and just going to be individual items so you lose a 10% bundle discount, or they're moving all the clear mount stamp sets to cling mount. So just be aware that if it's on the retirement list, just double check with your demonstrator or with or myself just to make sure it is actually retiring. I think Stampin' Up are going to release a more useful document on that, or, you know, a simpler list that will help us. But anyway, for today, I want to show you how I did this backing paper. Now, I will admit, I used the Wood Textures DSP from this year's annual catalogue, which will be retiring. However, I don't have a light one, again, to be able to stamp on. Oh, I could stamp on that one. Yeah, I still think that's too dark. So I'm going to do it on Whisper White and just show you how I created those leaves just using the two-tone colour. It's really straightforward and simple. So the colours I've used are Melon Mango and Granny Apple Green. Lovely bright colours, which I really, really love. Actually, they're lovely. Very spring-like. I like spring-like colours. I won't be using this. That was a 6x6 piece of designer series paper. You can make 2 cards out of it. Because they're just cut into half. They're 3 inches by 1.5 inches wide, and obviously the mats are just a little bit bigger. And then what you could do, there was a piece left over of what I did. You could add that in the middle there, down there, just a little bit. You know, don't want to waste anything. Want to use all our creativity up. So what I did. So let me do it this way. So I started off with Melon Mango. Let's put that at the top. And just tap that on. And then using a sponge, just tap on the Granny Apple Green. And it doesn't matter, just be random, then it will help it fade in. You can see, so that's fine. Again, we're going to use this as a background piece, so it doesn't matter if it's not perfect at the end of the day. Let me just see if I can do it. We're going to be cutting it up and slicing it up and just using it as backgrounds. So if it doesn't look perfect, we don't mind. Now the other way I did it, let me get a different stamp, let me get this one, is that so I inked it all up with Mango Melody. Then I just went round the outside with the Granny Apple Green. Well, that stamp's going to move now. Because it's clear mount, not cling. There you go. So you get the kind of the yellow on the inside and the green on the outside. So, and you can play around with that. And I was going to say, I mean, I didn't bother cleaning my stamps off. I just re-inked it. So, as you can see, there's a little bit of green in there. But you can use a piece of scrap paper just to take that ink off. But I found I did that once and there was you couldn't see the green on the piece of paper that I lifted it with. You can see there, just a piece of scrap paper. You don't want to press it too hard, you don't want to keep it too long because you don't want to absorb all your ink up. But if you're a bit worried about having ink transfer on your pads, obviously clean the stamps between each time you stamp it, or just use a little bit of scrap paper to lift the other colour from your ink pad. These are 2 pretty similar kind of strength ink pads. If I was using, say, Night of Navy and Balmy Blue, I'd always be restamping on the Night of Navy, the darker colour. So I'd put the lighter colour on the darker colour, so then it wouldn't matter so much and it wouldn't show through on the ink pad. So that's another way of doing it. So that's how I did that. I think it's a really fun technique, and obviously you can play around with colours, you can play around with how you put the ink on, and it's an easy way of shading and blending colours through because it does it automatically on the ink pad. Right, let me find a clean piece. So then, let me get my glue. Put my glue over. Oh, totally disorganised as usual. I don't know what I did with my glue then. Oh, it's here. Right, excuse me. Now that I've got the glue, all I'm going to do is put these pieces on. And you can hear it's some school holidays. That's why you can hear my children screaming. And my husband trying to clean for me while I do this video quickly. And because I just like this style where you cut into three, I think it's called a trip, I can't say it. Tripitch. I'm sure somebody will help me out below. But it's just a nice style card, and it's an interesting way of using, you know, if you've got scraps of designer series paper you wanted to use up, or, you know, making your own background papers like that, and they're not quite as perfect as you want them to be, then this is another way of being able to use them and not feel too disorientated, you know, not too worried that they're not perfect. We don't do perfect, really. All right, use your designer series paper to help you stamp straight. And with this card, I need to put that as far down the bottom as I could to be able to fit the pieces on. And I'm going to use a designer series paper again. Let me get that lined up. It didn't quite work the first time, but I should be able to use the grid lines there to help me line this up straight. So I do the outside bits first, and then I do the inside bit, and we hope it works. That's my theory. Theoretically it should work, but hey ho. We all know what theories are like. Move that over like that. Hopefully that fits in. And I mean, obviously you could take more care. I'm not being too worried about whether I've got the pieces in the same order that they were cut. You could do, because obviously it might make a little bit more sense to your piece. You can see, you know, that bit goes there, so but it's a random background. We like random backgrounds. So I haven't quite managed it in this one either. Well, it's not meant to be perfect. That's the idea, isn't it? It's a home handmade card. And then just put a few gems on, just to add a bit of wonder, sparkle. It doesn't need much. So that's a very simple card, just using paper, ink and stamps. And that's what you can do when you've got paper, ink and stamps. And I love the colour combinations, and I love the fact that out of that one kind of piece of designer series paper you can get two. And I hope you could see all that. And the other thing I wanted to point out is this lovely floral grid paper that Stampin' Up! Have done. It's got no numbers on it, and it's in metric, I believe, it's centimetres, but you've got inches at the top and inches at the bottom. But it's lovely. So there you go. But thank you very much for watching the video, and I hope you like that card. Nice simple card for you. Take care. My name's Fiona Stanton from Fee's Papercraft.